Hi, everyone. This is Candy Johnson. I am your host, and this is Real Talk brought to you by Real Raw Records. Today's topic is called uh, we're making a statement. Grow some balls, okay? Get you some cojones, all right? Because there are a lot of people out there that I'm very aware uh, and conscious of the epidemic of suicide. There are a lot of people out there that they don't have the mental makeup to endure uh, verbal abuse. Okay, and people don't realize in our society that there are people that don't have the mental makeup to take their verbal abuse until it's too late. And people commit suicide, and people start doing drugs many times because they can't deal or cope with um, the verbal abuse that they are enduring in the environment, okay, whatever it is. There are a lot of people out there that are in dysfunctional homes and such, or they were raised in homes where their parents were Christians, okay, or very religious. And so those are very structured and very strict environments. And I'm going to share my experiences. Well, I always share my experiences because I know better about me and what I've experienced than I know about anybody else. Okay. But I was born and raised with Christians, very strict Christian beliefs on both sides. Not Catholic, but Christian. All right. Pentecostal, if anybody knows about the Pentecostal Christians, um, where I was born, where I was raised in, they were very strict, okay, about certain things. We couldn't listen to secular music. The women, we couldn't dress a certain way. Like I have on this short sleeve shirt, that wasn't allowed. We had to wear very long, and if it didn't come past your elbow, they preferred the long sleeve all the way down to your wrist. Okay, and you had to. I don't know if this shirt would have been sufficient because it covers up all of my cleavage, but at the same time, because I have very large breasts, and in my family we blessed with them, they would, even if they saw you, you couldn't wear a shirt like this that shows clearly that I have large breasts. So what they would do is make you wear something over it, okay? Try to cover up, everything and stuff like that, It was very strict, okay? We couldn't wear pants back then. Now the Pentecostal are allowing the young ladies, the young ones, to wear pants, but the older women are not allowed to wear pants. And I think once they get past their teenage years, they start making them wear dresses and dresses only. Okay, dresses and skirts and stuff, and then you have to have long skirts on. Okay, but enough about the specifics. I just wanted to give y'all some understanding of how people can be brought up in such a strict environment, and then people on the outside world that don't understand that already this person is going through hell at home, all right? And then they go out into the outside world. Like when we was kids, we go to school, and we was at some points in our life we were somewhat poor, all right, or didn't have much. So not only were we made to dress uh, like pilgrims and shit, we also didn't have the latest, newest fashions or trends and stuff like that, you know. And so when we went to school, the children would make fun of us, okay? And when if we came home crying and stuff, well, I didn't come home crying because I used to whoop people ass. But I'll get to that. That's very important. I always did have a strong mental makeup like that. If people used to bother me, I used to jump on that ass and tear that ass up and make them look like damn fools, and then they wouldn't fuck with me no more. Okay, we're gonna get to this about growing them balls. Okay, but my sisters, they would cry and things like that, or feel bad about themselves because other people made fun of them. Now, my older sister, once she got older, she stopped caring about what other people say or whatever like that. But when we were going to school, and she was so into her books and stuff, but she still buried herself in the books so that she would feel better about herself, because she felt smarter than everybody else, you know, because she made good grades, okay? So still, it was kind of like avoiding the real issue, and cloaking it and covering it up, in order to deal with and to cope with the pressures, family life, being not being able to be free to be herself, or we weren't allowed to be ourselves. I was very outspoken, and this is the thing here. Okay, I'm saying all that to say, when we was in school, and other kids would pick on us because we would have on these granny looking dresses and stuff like that, and we was little kids and stuff, and you know, we didn't have like other kids and everything, and they would make fun of us. As kids, kids do that, all right, especially when they don't have no home training on how to treat other people with respect, okay? So their parents was giving them all the material things in life, okay, but not giving them anything of value, all right? They wasn't getting anything of value, okay? Nothing that their parents could buy them in the store that could make them better people in life, okay? There's nothing you can buy your children that'll make them good people in life, okay? So, of course, if you raising your kids without any valuable morals or how to treat people and things like that, what happens? They grow up to be, from being horrible kids to terrible adults. And that's what happens, okay? So if they never taught in school age, you know, younger age, on how to treat people, they grow up to be evil, wicked adults, okay? So now what we have in our society is we got horrible kids not being trained and treated to how to treat other people. Okay, we got terrible teenagers. They having sex and being promiscuous and stuff like that, and sleeping with anybody. The poor young ladies don't have no respect for their bodies and things like that. I see these young girls. It's a wonder they get snatched up. And I see these young girls with these little shorts on, with their vaginas and everything, that if they barely bend over, their vagina is showing. I almost went to tears because I feel sorry for them. That nobody is teaching them to respect themselves. So they are learning this behavior from TV, because parents will buy them iPhones, $500 iPhones, and not give them a free lesson on respect and, and having some integrity. Parents will buy them expensive gaming systems, get rid of them. They don't have to be bothered with them for hours on end. Uh, they don't even want to be bothered with their own children. Okay, it's really sad. I almost can't agree with the antinatalist that said people shouldn't be allowed to bring children in the world if you're going to treat them this way. Hold up, young ladies, they being snatched up, kidnapped, raped, molested. And no, you can't stop a pedophile from being a pedophile or a rapist from being a rapist. No, you can't stop that. But you certainly can minimize your child from being a target simply by teaching them how to, young ladies, how to carry themselves, and the young men, they have a respectable manner of carrying yourself as well. Okay. These kids aren't being taught at all. They stick them in front of a video game and leave them there. These young ladies, their parents are buying them these little bitty shorts with their backsides and vaginas hanging all out and stuff. I saw the other day on Facebook, this dumbass lady, she gonna post a picture of her baby grandson in the hospital, completely naked. And I said, this dumbass lady sat up here and posted a picture, and I said, why would you do this? Don't you know that it's pedophiles lurking on the internet? And soon as I had said that, here comes some old creepy ass man basically telling her thank you. Y'all excuse me because I'm a very sensitive person. Because I think people just don't think when they do things, with the consequences of it. Now I will tell you this. I'm not deceived into thinking that just because I was forced to wear long sleeves and wear dresses and things like that, that will stop a child from being molested or whatever like that. I'm not deceived into thinking that. I know that doesn't prevent anything. It doesn't prevent anything. All right. It's kind of closed. But what it does do is it doesn't help the situation. You helping the pedophiles when you dressing the children like this here. All right, you helping them. I know you wasn't thinking about that. People, when they do stuff, they don't think. That's the problem. All right. And this title of this broadcast is Grow Some Balls. And I put that as the title because many of these parents are doing these things because they are, in a sense, too cowardice to raise their children uh, with some standards and some rules and some limitations, because they're afraid that the child gonna say, "I'm mad at you. You made me mad. You didn't give me." Everybody else was wearing their shorts with their ass and shit showing. Of course, the kid wouldn't say that, but they gonna throw that up there. They gonna throw that on your conscience. All right, the kids will. Everybody else had on these little shorts, and I was the only one that didn't have on the little shorts. Okay. They gonna say everybody else got an iPhone, and I'm the only one that didn't have no iPhone. Okay. Yeah. They gonna say everybody else playing video games, and I'm the only one don't have video games. So you let your kids hold your nuts, all right? It's a sad day in our society when the children control the household. It's a sad day in our society when parents no longer have control over what's going on in the household. How you doing, Jesse?
Oh, it's going. It's going.
You have something to contribute to the topic?
I was just kind of seeing what was to talk about.
Okay. Well, basically what I'm talking about is, um, you know, there's so many things that I want to talk about. I think I'm gonna hold this topic for quite some time and do a series, because what it's about is people not having the courage to stand up for what's right or for what's best or doing the right thing because the crowd is doing something else. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as like parents will bend to doing what their kids want them to do, because they are afraid that the kids are gonna be angry with them for a moment, not thinking or knowing that kids don't hold anger. They'll be angry one minute, they'll be forgot all about it the next. If you could just hold
No,
out.
no. When I was 5, I did not get to go see The Lion King, and it was a very traumatic event in my life. And I'm not sure how I'm still alive today. Anyways, I had to, joke. I mean, there's a lot that I could say, but I mean, considering that I'm not a parent, I can really only, you know, make some maybe some offhanded, ignorant suggestions, maybe. But as far as like me being an authority, I'm not. So just want to make sure that that's out of the way. And by the way, I'm on my cell phone with this hangout. So if there's a lot of wind or traffic or something, that's why.
Okay.
Um, yeah. Uh, so I think we need to not underestimate the power of the stigma of social being different socially. It's a very powerful thing in society, unfortunately. I mean, which I think has been good in some cases, but very toxic in other ways. So, I mean, we shouldn't underestimate the power of the stigma of being different or doing things in an alternative way or or in a more traditional way that's not as common today either. Um, so I mean, there's that, and um, just today's society is really effed up as it is. So
Right.
the normal today was not the normal of 60 years ago. So I mean, what may be considered normal today is vastly different. Just not even including the differences and um, just technology by itself, but just the way that people grow up and are taught in schools and everything. I mean, back when our probably grandparents or great grandparents were living, a high school diploma was good to have. But now it's just like, well, if you don't have your diploma, you're basically SOL today. You're still SOL if you don't even have a college degree in some cases.
What does SOL mean?
Uh, Out of luck.
Oh, shit out of luck. Oh, okay. Well, you know what, Jesse, the reason that I hold these hangouts is not to bitch about what's going on in our society, but I also try to give a little knowledge about the fact that degrees don't mean shit. Papers don't mean shit. I have people that come on to my broadcast and they spew out the most ridiculous ignorance that you have ever heard, and they have degrees. um, you have people that are working on a job, working for somebody, a slave to somebody, and they have diplomas and degrees. Whereas I don't have any of that. I dropped out in 11th grade, got a GED, and almost uh, since I've been adult, I've always had my own business of some sort. I have worked on jobs, but basically, when I would work on a job, it would be a foothold just to get a little further. And
Yeah.
yeah,
So your intellect was high enough to where you made an alternative decision, but it paid off.
exactly.
Whereas most that don't, not to say that all, but just the majority, and I'm stereotyping here. So, it's the majority are not, like, they don't have the intellect to be able to say, hey, I'm not that bright.
Right.
I should probably just stick with the program. It might benefit me. Um, but I mean, I see there's a lot of people that are very intelligent that see, hey, yeah, diploma may be good to have. It doesn't hurt. But really, when it comes down to it, there's several different factors that come down to one's success in life. And one of those skills that I've noticed in a lot of very influential people is that they're very intelligent. No, although even if they weren't originally classified as intelligent, like for example Henry Ford. um,
Yes, and I am too. I was born mentally retarded.
so it's like, just because they may not have the um, skill set of intellect in one area of their life, which honestly is kind of outdated these days, but um, having the intellectual ability to be able to work with individuals and influence them by having a vision, telling that story, having them believe in the vision so they can help you obtain it. Not in like a selfish way, but like, in a very helpful way to help other people in
Right.
the process. So it's not like, you don't work for me because I'd like to be a complete whatever you want to call it.
Jerk.
So, you know, I'm not sure if that's okay if I swear in your show, but
No, you're
yeah.
good. You're good. I swear all the time. This is real talk. And if people swear in real life,
Please, no. I'm just
yeah, sometime in life, when people say stupid ass shit, sometimes you might have to break out a bitch please every now and then. Like, bitch please, yeah, this is about real shit, and it's not just about cussing, but sometimes, to really explain shit just like it, really is, you have to, do it, you have to use a curse word to do it because no other word will do. Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of it comes down to people skills, the ability to articulate things and present things in a way that are not offensive. I mean, there's always going to be that certain group of people that are going to be offended either way. So,
No matter what, people are going to be offended. I've experienced that in life so much, okay? And the reason for that is because some people have already been bashed so much, or how do you call that when people they take stuff personally that don't even have nothing to do with them? Okay, for example, um, this particular person that I know of is a transgender, all right? And she
she's online here, right? I think I know her.
yeah, I just didn't want to mention the name, but she's a transgender, all right? So anytime somebody mentions the word gay, transgender, or anything to do with homosexuality, she says, they're saying I'm this way. So, for example, if somebody says that the majority of homosexuals are pedophiles, she'll say, they're saying I'm a pedophile. I said,
Like, yeah, we weren't including you in that particular description. I'm sorry. Your narcissistic bubble has been popped for a short period of time. Even though you are a good person, it's just we weren't talking about you.
right.
So it doesn't apply. You were null and void. Any guilt whatsoever.
Right.
Just it'd be like, oh, there's no other analogy that I could come up with other than the narcissistic bubble. Not everyone is talking about you, even though you think, like, have you smoked too much weed lately? I mean, come on.
I think those kind of people need to toke some weed and calm down, because weed make you calm down and chill, and like she just pass by you, you don't even know, you wouldn't even if they was talking to her, she wouldn't even know it, because weed make you chill.
Like I have been in some of her hangouts and stuff, and she's a great person. A lot of them kind of started getting depressing because that's all she would ever talk about. So right. I stopped. I think I blocked her, and then I stopped going into hangouts, with no disrespect, of course.
Right.
Watching. So it's just I couldn't take it. I got my own issues here. I got my own ball of crap that I need to deal with. So I mean,
everybody does.
At least like, yeah, I can understand once in a while, be like, yeah, this shit sucks. Sorry if I'm being for reals here or whatever.
No,
but but then it's just like, stop talking about it. Like, don't like dwell in the infinite mist of the abyss of depression. Like it sucks, but like, need to talk about other crap for a while.
Yes.
Distract yourself from that. But I think originally we were gonna talk about how parents don't like do some of the right things, or just people in general that don't stick up for what is right, for what they would believe is right.
Right.
So I mean, there's a lot of I can see several different factors that may, you know, let people kind of justify not sticking up for themselves. One is fear, fear of losing their friends or their job, even though, you know, that they were really their friends in the first place.
Right.
Or like friends at work that you're not like really friends with, but you know, you're friends in the sense of, you know, you're there every day. Excuse me, you're there every day. You're, you know, putting in your 8 to 12 hours, and you know, I mean, that's the only job that you have, and you got, you know, a $300 car payment, another $600 in rent each month, another what $200 on a very high end. I'm exaggerating the numbers quite a bit, you know, and utilities. You know, you may have a hot tub that we don't know about, or you're growing some weed, you know, ticket thing. So, you know, I mean, it all adds up. So, I mean, I think it's just a variable of different things. People are too, like, they're already too stressed out from living life itself. They're like, you know, I wake up every morning to go to my job that I fucking hate
Right.
and would really love to just do something else, but that something else, whether career wise or not, you know, I'm always working during
Right.
that time that I could go to like a job center or, you know, apply online or hear back from applications that I've sent out. And, you know, so I mean, you got that. And that's probably the biggest thing. The reason why a lot of people don't stand up for what is, you know, quote unquote right. So, I mean, you got that aspect. Another aspect that I could think of is just the lack of funds. Like, I mean, now see, like, there's nothing worse than being broke, dumb, and what was the other thing? Jim Rohn was saying something like that. He's like, there's nothing worse than being dumb and broke.
Right. I think the worst thing is not being broke, but the dumb part. Oh, that right there, that is mental poverty. Okay, that you're speaking of, and that is the worst type of poverty. And I'll tell you why. Or why. I've had my two most successful. I've had several businesses, but my two most successful business endeavors was I owned a appliance shop for 7 years, but I started it while I was homeless. Right now, I own a record label. I started it while I was homeless. Okay. Um, so being broke is actually, I've proven through my successes that being homeless can be the most profitable state to be in, or being, I would say, being without. Okay, not necessarily just homeless, but being without,
Yeah.
or at your last. It's almost like, you know, when somebody back you into a corner, even if you're not a fighter, and you know only way you're gonna come out is fighting, you're gonna tear their asses up.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference, because I've been homeless 2 times previously, and I think the biggest difference between those that successfully get out of it, which I have had done actually, I've successfully came out of homelessness twice. So it's not the fact that there is, especially if you're, you know, I mean, there's so many temp jobs out there, temp agencies that want to hire people because they're paying, you know, slightly above what you would get at your local McDonald's or, you know, whatever. But the biggest thing is how people use their resources when they are homeless. Like,
Right.
and I would have to say that this country, I've never been out of the States, but my parents have been, and I've had several relatives that were over in Iraq and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, from what they've told me and everything, and from, you know, my ignorant state that I am in, it's honestly, you know, the States, even though a lot a lot of things suck in the States. They do, but on a given day, there's a lot more resources that we have here in the States that, I mean, hell, our broke here has, you know, basic living needs, shelter, food, bathing needs, even TVs and cars. They can afford all that being poor, but in other countries they don't have the library, they don't have the support systems that are in place, like homeless shelters, food stamps, things that you'd need when you're at like rock bottom, laundromats, Wi-Fi for your phone, which I'm using right now. And like there's so much free resources out there. The library, the job centers usually have internet access to apply for jobs. They've got, even if you go to like a job service, they usually will have someone that will help you build a resume for a particular job and cater it. Also, the library, you can read so many books there for free. You don't need to buy them. I love my Kindle. I like buying books for $10, but when I'm flat broke and had nothing, it's just like it's all in how you use the resources around you. And how to tap into them. And that's what entrepreneurships do. That's what entrepreneurs do. And I think they have a slightly higher intellect and the ability to be resourceful, even though they may not have all the resources at that particular time. They're able to collect the resources that they have to produce more resources.
Right. And I understand that there's a difference, and you're right. I'm an entrepreneur, so I have that capability of doing that. But what I usually tell people that I notice that are not leaders or entrepreneurs by nature is, and this is what really gets me about the people that don't have it, is that when you come in contact, with somebody, you say, this person really has it going on. They know how to get shit done. Instead of them saying, I'm going to stick with this person and support them and ride up, I see them on their way up, or I see them being successful. And they have the opportunity, like I meet people online. I was telling this a dancer, and he's artistic or whatever like that, and I was telling him, because I had got on him about playing video games all the time or whatever. I said, I'm doing something productive, and I'm a dancer, I'm this and that, because I told him he wasn't doing anything productive with his life, because all you see on this whole thread is video game this, video game this, video game that. So I was using me as an example. I said, and when I was telling him, explaining to him how he's not really trying to go for his dreams, if he's saying that I am doing some productive, I said, you know what? I'm going to show you something that you didn't even realize. I said, I own a record label. Here you have direct access to someone who owns a record label, and you're a dancer. Record labels need dancers. So you have... He has made the effort to attack me verbally. He has made the effort to even make videos, post videos about me, negative things about me, to try to make fun of me and everything. I was his opportunity. This is what I'm talking about. Do you know people wish they had the opportunity to come in contact with somebody who owns a record label, and here this guy has direct contact and fuck it up? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Maybe he wasn't really ready either. So who knows? I have no idea. I wasn't there, but I think entrepreneurship skills can be learned, like leadership skills can be learned, like salesmanship.
He have to be a leader. All he had to do was recognize opportunity as opportunity. Instead, he wanted to hang with the crowd, since they were saying negative things about me, he wanted to be a part of the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. They're free to.
No, I'm using that as an example of how people will say, yeah, you're fortunate, you're an entrepreneur, and they'll make all these excuses of why they're not successful when they have let opportunity, huh?
Like they think it's given to them. Like I've seen, oh my goodness, the first time that I was homeless and the second time that I was homeless happened within like 2 years. So the first time that I was homeless, I got to see who the people were.
Mm-hmm.
Years later, in the same town, the people that were homeless the first time that I was were still homeless.
Right.
They didn't
When
change.
I was starting my record label in the homeless shelter, and I would go to the library and gather information and do everything, I always dress real nice and stuff, and people would literally make fun of me, talk about me. Here I am doing something productive,
Yeah.
and they would make fun of it. So this is what I'm saying. Like, it's the type of mentality. People will sit up and whine about they didn't have. I didn't have what you had. Well, they were in the same shelter I was in. So what more did I have than them but a mind? A mind.
Ambition. That's what you had. That's
Huh?
ambition. That's
Oh
what
yeah.
that. I mean, and that's the thing is like some people are not as ambitious. They don't feel the need to. I feel like the first time that I was homeless, I kind of rushed it to happen. So, I mean, there's a few things that I was kind of missing, but another point that I kind of want to bring up is that people are afraid to fail like nobody's business. Like, understand, yeah, the fear of failure can be healthy, but when it prevents you from like moving forward with your life, like, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I just, it doesn't make sense to me why so many people would be homeless and then they would be like that for like 2 years. Like, all right, I understand that, maybe a particular job that you're going to be looking for. I mean, if they're not of the kind of person that wants to, you know, do a shoestring business to kind of be able to help them out. But, I mean, it's about using the resources to produce more resources that can be available to you. And it seems like a lot of people don't. Like they either haven't learned it by themselves or like self-taught, or they've never been taught that to begin with.
Right.
So when of course, when you have, you become the average of the five best friends around you, kind of thing happening. It's no wonder.
Right.
I mean, it's good to have that social structure, but if you want to be able to move up in some way, shape, or form, I mean, just in a financial way, you got to start meeting different people that have the higher income that you'd like, and start kind of emulating how they talk, speak, and behave.
Right.
And not to say that you'd be like a copycat, but just to be like have your own.
Imitate the behaviors. The behaviors is confidence. The behavior is persistence. The behaviors are what do you call that? They are very purposeful. Anybody who reaches a level of success are very purpose filled. Like, I don't do anything without a reason for doing it. Okay, even when I'm hanging out and hangouts with other people, they may be in there just hanging out and wasting time, but I'm in there doing research, like, because I like to study types of people, all right? I'm also in there, seeing if I might possibly run across some talent or somebody with some knowledge, that could be useful, okay? So that's why I was bringing up to this guy that's the dancer, that said he was a dancer. I said, well, here I was, a person with a record label right there in your midst, and you're a dancer. and you didn't even think for 1 second to, try to befriend me in some type of way, so that, well, I was already friends with him.
Or even just ask around, be like, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Do you know anyone? Like, hey, yeah, I do that. So, that's basically what you did.
No, but I mean, you have to be purposeful, and so if you are around people that are successful, to be around a person that's successful and envy them to the point of hatred, where you're just angry with them because they're successful, and you could have actually, that was actually an opportunity for you to be successful, but you saw it, I don't know how, maybe you can tell me why is it that people see people with success as a threat as opposed to seeing them as opportunity?
I kind of had a situation like this when, earlier this year, in fact, I was working at your local Walmart, and overnights, and I did eventually get promoted, and that didn't like have anyone hate me. I honestly had low self-esteem and didn't think that I was that good of a worker, even though people liked what I did. So, I mean, and overnights, like, it was kind of a tight crowd, and the people that did actually work and produce, looked out for each other, and I was part of that club, so
Right.
I was like, okay, cool. And I just hated the people that just would not, like, it's like they didn't want to, like, not to say, like, work at a steady pace, but, like, to just be retarded. There's no other way that I can explain that type of mentality. I had one kid that I worked with. He was like 18, 19, so he's still, just an idiot.
Right.
And you wouldn't work at all. You kept walking around and taking quote unquote breaks or whatever, and stuff that, it's like, you don't do that. Like, come on.
Right.
But to answer your question, though, it's like, I don't know. It's like, not the other people's success. Of course, you got your natural thing of like, well, it reflects badly on them, because then, where it's just like, well, you're moving forward in life. I mean, and I've had this kind of happen with a friend with mine. Like, we were good buddies at Walmart and stuff like that, but then, like, he did not support anything about me moving on. I'm like, I gotta move forward, man. Like, as much as I'd like being where I am, it's just, I just am afraid that I'm gonna get stuck here. Like, after 2-3 years, getting 50-cent raises every year, which is like not a lot, but it was a lot better for the area because nobody gave any raises for like ever. So, I was already making $9.25 an hour for overnights, 32 hours a week. So, I mean, I was making like $400, $800 a month roughly, and just like next to nothing. But I was able to have an apartment for $375, a little tiny studio apartment that had all utilities included. So I kind of lucked out there.
Right.
So it's just like I was able to get a car, and life was good. Just, I just didn't want to be stuck in an area where it's like people, for whatever reason, don't want to progress forward. It's like shunned, which makes no sense to me at all. Like, the office politics of not succeeding baffles me. I just don't get it. I can't I lack the ability to comprehend the ability to not move forward.
Right. You sound like you have a lot of leadership qualities.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, I'm like, dude, I'm not like leaving you like we're breaking up or something, man. Like, like, I'm just moving on with my life. I mean, you can stay at Walmart, and maybe in your life, that's what you need to do right now. And you are successful by your own definition. Like,
right.
Like, my success is irrelevant to what maybe successful for you.
Right, right.
Not to say that I mean there are circumstances when it's like, well, we can compare apples to apples and oranges here, and like I mean it's not just because I chose to go on a different path or agenda or whatever it is that would increase my income. Don't let that be like a factor in calling me the douchebag.
Right.
I I wanted to make some more green. Like what the like what the like I mean greed can be good. I mean not like greed, but like greed with the
Wanting
healthy
more, yes.
sense of not being a complete dick about it. Uh,
Right.
Come on now. I mean, who would not want more green in their pocket? I mean, Uncle Sam is doing a great job. 20% of her checks before you even get to see it. For doing whatever. But that's that's not the point of my rant here. But it's just I just don't understand why. Yeah, maybe this is the reason why I've always felt like a crappy employee. I just don't get the social protocol of not sucking at sucking.
Right, right, right.
So I mean,
That's a good thing.
which yeah, I mean it's helped out a lot of ways because I was able to get out of homelessness, twice.
Right.
So I mean, I mean, if you really want to suck, be homeless and not use any of the resources. That is, yeah. But of course, then again, we also got to, and of course, when I'm discussing a lot of this stuff, it's because, when I'm talking about people that are not motivated or not able to take advantage or be resourceful, I'm not talking about those that have particular mental illnesses or impairments or personality disorders or other type of ailments that could hinder, I'll say, or
Right.
impair one's ability to do such a thing. Is that's just invalid. So that's
Right.
not remotely realistic. And when when I'm thinking about success, it's not some close your eyes and drop a vision board about it. Not to say that I don't believe in manifestation from acting out on your plan, but this whole like the secret kind of mentality of just believe and then it will be, and a very loose sense of that. That's bullshit. I mean, you can stand in the mirror and say, "I'll have $100,000 check in the mail," but if you don't do anything to go get that,
Exactly.
it's not. You are just,
Man, yeah.
yourself to misery at that point. And then you're setting up a false expectation. When
Yes,
that
exactly.
expectation doesn't get met, then you're like, ah.
That's exactly what it is, Jesse. It's a false expectation. Yes.
And that's why a lot of people, for example, from what I've read about in the network marketing business models, that people give up too soon. They
Yes.
they also they don't ask everyone, because that's one of the key things that the most successful people in that particular business model do, is they ask everybody. They get the presentations out there, and then they just work the numbers from there. But I mean, it's just yeah.
What do you mean by ask everybody? Can you make that a little clearer?
Like inviting people to view their particular network marketing business presentation, you know. So that's what I mean by asking everyone, is basically being able to get a lot of people to see the business opportunity with network marketing business model under that umbrella, and just working the numbers. So that's what I meant by asking everyone.
Oh yes, okay. I'm learning something from that because um, I'm very passionate about my record label, right? Um, and we've made some very historic moves in the regard that, first of all, it was started while, while I was in a homeless shelter. Second of all, that we are the first record label in the history of record labels to obtain a federal um, uh, uh, what do you call it, certification on a federal level. All of them have, you may have state level, but not federal. I'm very proud of that. All right. However, I don't know why, but um, I guess I just got to get in the habit of, like you said, asking everyone, or not necessarily asking, but presenting that for it to be well known, because I'm actually kind of limiting myself by just not letting it out there. I guess I just have, for me being an artist, have that mentality of keeping my identity a secret, so to speak. Because I can't go into stores and stuff like that, and people want to take pictures, videos, and stuff like that. And even though people may think that's such an awesome thing when they see it, um,
That'd get annoying as hell.
it can be, because you don't ever get to relax and be a person.
Play here.
You can't shit, fart, or you can't, you can't do anything without it being scrutinized.
Just be, a normal person at browse the local Target. Just not to be rude, but give me like 5 feet. And, just like let me have my own little bubble and be your normal everydayer. You know, I mean, I could see how that would be like really annoying. Like, you can't even like take a shit, and someone's like, "Hey, yeah, like let's take a selfie," and yeah, that would be really annoying. I mean, I'm sure like at first it would have been like, "Oh, sweet," because you're not used to it. But then it's just like, "All right, get the fuck away from me." With all due respect, like,
Yeah.
I don't want to like upset you, but like,
And then you have that catch-22 where they are, if you just let them do it, they'll bombard you. If you ask them, please, let me just be normal for a second, then they say, oh, she's an asshole. She's a stuck-up bitch, No, I'm not a stuck-up bitch. I just want to be left alone. Like, I don't want to be idolized, so I'm a stuck-up bitch because I don't want to be idolized. Are you serious? Like, no. So, because the thing is, when people idolize you, there's repercussions to that, okay? Because once they idolize you, then they have every right to rip you apart if you don't meet up to their standards. So, he must have dropped his internet must have dropped out, but still, the point still stands. That's the thing. In life, people always want to set certain standards for other people. Yesterday, Fitz Bomb on Google came into my hangout, and he really thought he was being clever by attacking my physical appearance. And I was saying, he said, well, you shouldn't wear that wig or whatever. You shouldn't wear that. I don't like your hat. Okay, and I don't like you hiding behind a gravatar, So, it's like, I'm not trying to make you uphold to my standards and cam the fuck up. No. But in all reality, though, he was showing a big example of how people do in society, that they want you They want you to uphold to their standards of what they think you should be like, but they ain't gonna hold up to none. They ain't gonna even hold up to their own standards. In other words, he want me to be what he think is perfect in his eyesight, but he ain't gonna even uphold to his standards. Where's your good looks and fancy and expensive clothes at? You know, that's just the way people do in life. And needless to say, it's unfair, but it's a bunch of bullshit. It's what it is. It's a bunch of bullshit, and that's why I say people need to grow some balls and tell people fuck you every now and then. You know, because if you really think about what it is they are asking you to do, and you look at their life, you'll see that they ain't upholding to them the standards that they trying to make you uphold to. And just like in the Christian belief, all right, they quick to pick on the atheists for being immoral and doing evil, wicked stuff, all right, but they don't hold up to those standards themselves. You see them sneak and crawl around Google, Facebook, and stuff like that, and do evil, wicked stuff, you know. But they want you to overlook that, you know. That's not important. They only want you to pay attention to, you know, and they want to point the finger at the atheist and say how horrible the atheist is, while they be evil to their own. You know, if you ain't the kind of Christian that they are, then you ain't shit. You know, a lot of them, that's how they treat you. Okay. And this is how they were to prove that they are a cult, because that's what cults do. You have to conform to their specific standards of acceptability, all right, to be accepted in the group. And if you try to maintain any type of independent thought or independent beliefs outside of their standards, then they will ostracize you and excommunicate you, all right, in some type of manner, all right. And this is exactly what they do in the Christian belief. And it's unacceptable to say the least, but it's definitely deplorable type of behavior, you know. I don't even understand why I didn't, well, I was going to say I don't see why I even stayed in it that long, because I usually detect bullshit, but to be honest with myself, I never was in it for very long I kept dropping out of church, going back. Mainly guilt drawing me back. But then when I go and I see how they behave and stuff like that, I would drop out again. You know, I never was in there for long periods of time because my bullshit meter kept going off. And I told y'all about what my bullshit meter is very sensitive, and I can detect bullshit when I hear it, you know. That's just like the man that came in my broadcast yesterday. He gonna say, yeah, you bald-headed bitch, and bald-headed bitch this and bald-headed bitch that. And I'm saying to myself, now, he's saying I'm a bald-headed bitch, okay? As if not having a lot of hair is a crime, or as if wearing a wig is a sin or some type of wrong. And I was saying to myself, I said, now, you know what would have been very ironic about that whole situation, and I'm sure he didn't want to cam up, but What would have been very ironic about that whole situation is if he would have cabbed up and he'd have been one of the men with the baldness in the middle. Oh, I would have died laughing. I would have died laughing. I would have died laughing. I would have died laughing because it's so funny. It's been so funny because that's the irony of life, you know. But that's just the irony of life, okay? And I will show y'all. And now this man gonna tell me about how cheap my and I'm telling y'all right now, I'm not making fun of his financial state, okay? But I just want people to understand how people will say try to hold somebody else to a standard they ain't living themselves, okay? And y'all just hang tight. I got some evidence for y'all. Shit. Oh, hold on a second here. All right. I got some evidence for y'all ass. Okay, watch this here shit right here. And this really tickled me because here this poor thing. He was telling me how I ain't shit on the counter. I had on a cheap ass wig. All right. Now he gonna tell me I ain't shit on the counter. I had a cheap ass wig. But now don't get me wrong because I've been less fortunate myself, and I share this all the time that I started my record label while I was in a homeless shelter. Okay. So don't get it twisted. I'm not making fun of this guy because he don't have. What I am pointing out is the fact that this man gonna call himself trying to put me down. And this is his uh meal consists of. This is what people will do in life. Okay. This is what people will do in life. Okay, this is his channel. All right. This is his this is what he eating. Okay. And I actually feel sorry for the man. Okay. Well, it's a blessing to have a meal. He got a meal. But when you try to talk about how much somebody spent on their wig and hat, if this what your meal was, uh, I want to know what's your grounds. You want me to spend, I guess, hundreds of dollars on a hat and a wig when it's people out there in the world that don't even have this to eat. You at least you got a little something. And I've seen the other little meal that you had for things and everything like that. Now, don't get me wrong. I got money to eat a gourmet meal, but shit, that looked tasty. Although I would have preferred wheat bread, but that is expensive. Even wheat bread is expensive. Okay, but you know, I'd rather help people that don't even have this to eat than spend a whole bunch of money on my looks. So, Sir Fitchbomb, if you consider me as nothing for caring more about uh, people than my appearance, I shit on your opinion. Okay, your opinion don't mean a motherfucking thing. Okay, and that's real talk. Now, I tell people this all the time. You keep it real, I'll take your ass back to Fantasyland.